So, without further ado, the severed hand scene from Blood of My Blood, a Vampire Legacy novel. The candles were lit on Moon's altar, and Angelo sat cross-legged in front of it, chanting. The objects on the table, though, had been rearranged, jostled out of place by something new. Assuming it was probably the remains of the animal he had killed to get blood for Mitch, I moved closer to get a better look. Not an animal, no, I thought as I approached. It was a sculpture, a representation of a human hand. I wondered what purpose it served. Did it give the power of command? Strength? Invisibility? I reached down to touch it. It was soft and flaccid, made of rubber or latex to simulate the feel of human flesh. I looked closer and pulled back in shock when I saw the darkened and thickening pool the object rested in. It smelled of death. It was death. It was real. Jesus Christ, Angelo, I whirled around. What the hell did you do? He kept chanting. I leaned down and slapped him hard across the face. His eyes focused on me and he smiled. He was playing possum the whole time, Lily. Not drugged, not sleeping, laying there with them electric glowing blue eyes, biding his time. He a smart one, oh yeah. He was just waiting for someone to open up the door. So you cut off his hand? I screamed at him. What possible use could that have for anyone? Ain't his hand, it's Greg's hand. Greg's hand. I see. Now, just to who the hell is Greg, and where is the rest of him? Angelo laughed. That's pretty funny, Lily. Where is the rest of him, you ask? He leaned his head towards Moon's door. In there. And Mitch? He in there, too. Probably had a good meal out of the young Greg. I started to go to the door, then stopped. Maybe you better tell me what happened before I go in. Well, I go out to find a dog or something like you told me to. I weren't looking for human blood. But I stumble across this young man, Greg. He been drinking, a good long time. And he say to me, you look like you live here, do you? I figure he wants directions or something, so I nod. Long enough to help you out, young man, what you want. So he introduces himself and tells me he's here in New Orleans for the first time. Always wanted to see the place, he say, so he takes off and comes down. But he's tired of the tourist places, he say, and he wants to see something real. Real, I say, and what is real? Voodoo or vampires, he say, either one will do. Well, Greg, I say, it just so happened that bow-legged Lo could show you both. You come to the right man. I looked at him in disbelief, or the wrong one, so then what happened? Well, I get the Greg man back here to the house. He's pretty drunk still, but he slipped me 100 and say, show me what you have, little man. If it's good, I might pay more. I laugh at him. Oh, it'd be good. Don't you worry about that. Which do you want first? He thinks. Voodoo, he say, and so I do a little mumbo-jumbo for the man. Not the real stuff. You don't get that for what he paying. But I light the candles and burn some incense and drop a few herbs on the fire. He get all nice and woozy, and I make the fumes dance for him. Easy trick to show the tourists. Real impressive. He stopped for a second and looked at me. I teach you that one, Miss Lily. You got the power to move the smoke around, I'm sure. I shook my head. Some other time, Angelo. Get on with it. So after the smoke dance, he shake his head. That's all you got for me? Where are the vampires? Can't you conjure them out of the smoke? Don't need to conjure them, young Greg. I got one in the next room. Cool, he say. Angelo look over at me. Now, I don't know what he think I going to show him. Maybe a human dressed up like a vampire. But I take him into the room and he stand there for a while. Mitch, he just laying on the bed, nothing moving but his eyes. So this is it? This is your vampire? Some guy with long gray hair sound asleep inside a glass tank? I want my money back. Not sleeping, I say. He just waiting for you to go in. Greg, he put his hand on the door handle, and I think I see that vampire's eyes glimmer. I think I see his hand twitch. But I open the door, and Greg walk in. And then, I prompted him impatiently. Angelo started to chuckle. Then all hell come loose, Miss Lily. I never seen nothing like the jump that vampire make. Split second or less, and he there at the door. I can almost smell his breath. And he don't want Greg, no. He don't want the man I bring him. He want me. Angelo rolled his eyes. No way is old bow-legged Lo going to end up as a vampire's supper, Miss Lily. So I summon all my strength and all the strength of my spirits, and I close that door. Whomp, it shuts. But that Greg man, he tried to get out too, and his hand gets stuck. Lo laughed and wheezed. That old door cut his hand off clean as a cleaver. It flop on the floor and twitch like a dying fish. Blood be spurtin' all over my feet. And the rest of Greg, he be in the tank with Mitch. He'd get all crazy and start screaming, but Mitch pick him up. And he grow quiet. It all grow quiet. And I pick up the hand and hightail it out there to let them both sort it out. Is he dead? I should have known better than to leave the house. The murder of an innocent man now rested on me. I felt dirty and frightened. Don't know, Lily, but I expect so. How could you not know, Angela? How can you care so little? He wanted what he got, child. He paid good money to see a vampire. I show him a vampire. He pushed his lips out and shook his head. You don't ask to see a vampire unless you don't mind losing a little blood. A little blood? He got his hand cut off, Angelo, and then you just left him in there to die. I ran my fingers through my hair. You promised me, Angelo, no human blood, no torture. Angelo stood up. Not my doing, Lily. He were a gift. His appearing when he did and asking what he asked, a gift from the gods. The gods don't give gifts, Angelo. They curse. I sighed and opened the door to Moon's room.